You lived through it. The machines got better, the grooves got tighter, and somewhere in that collision, the soul either survived or it didn't. We're talking about 13 records, 1975 to 1976, when the industry was burning itself down and rebuilding from the ashes. A man writing lyrics on a brown paper bag at 4 a.m. because his genre was dying. A woman standing 3 inches from a microphone for hours, her body locked rigid while her voice whispered about heartbreak. A blind musician wrestling a $60,000 synthesizer for 18 straight hours because he refused to let the machine win. These are the stories of records that became blueprints, the ones we still steal from. The ones that proved a great record isn't about the equipment, it's about the human being who forced that equipment to bleed. Try. Let's just kiss. 13. Kiss and Say Goodbye by the Manhattans, 1976. Winfred Lovett wrote those lyrics on a brown paper bag in the middle of the night, driven by insomnia as his entire genre collapsed around him. Maybe you will find another guy. The Philly Soul era was finished. Unemployment sat at 7.7%. The session started at 4 a.m. at Sigma Sound Studios, a 24-track facility that charged premium rates, and that exhaustion was the point. Take my handkerchief and wipe your eyes. The MFSB rhythm section was too tired to overplay. They had to sit with the sadness. That bass frequency ran so deep it threatened to muddy everything, a technical risk Lovett took to hide something darker. The terminal cancer diagnosis of the group's predecessor. A Neumann U47 microphone hung inches from Lovett's lips, capturing the 100 Hz resonance of his voice. It's gonna hurt me. He had to stand motionless for hours. The physical pain of staying still while delivering those final words, kiss and say goodbye. That pain became the song.
Let's just kiss and say goodbye.
It was certified platinum, the second single in history to achieve it. Understand me, won't you try? The blueprint endured because it proved the monologue could bridge a man's public polish and his shattering private collapse. Many months. Next, a white rock band in Ohio faced a different kind of desperation. 12. Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry, 1976. In clubs across Ohio, audiences hurled a racialized taunt at Rob Parisi and his band. Play some funky music. It was meant to break them. Disco owned 70% of the Billboard Hot 100. A white rock band had no business in that space. They had $1,100 to record the entire track.
Oh, but now it's so much better. Yes, it is.
Parisi enforced a brutal 15-hour session at Cleveland Recording Company, demanding his rock-oriented bandmates abandon their pride and mimic the precision of the Ohio players. The tempo sat at 110 BPM, engineered to bridge hard rock grit and dance floor elegance. But underneath that calculation was Parisi's private terror. His career would end if he couldn't reconcile his identity with the disco demand.
So foolish. How could I now? To not see you, will see what.
A Neumann U87 microphone positioned 4 inches from his lips. He screamed into it with such physical intensity during the 3-minute take that he nearly blew out his vocal cords. He survived. The song was sampled over 100 times in hip-hop. It endured because it captured the exact moment a failing rock band surrendered their identity to groove and live. Lou Rawls faced a different kind of surrender. 11. You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine by Lou Rawls, 1976. Just us two. 5 years. That's how long Rawls had been absent from the charts when he entered Sigma Sound Studios.
You'll never find another love.
The Philadelphia International Record Sound had dominated with 11 gold and platinum singles. Rawls was a former star. The fear was suffocating. Producers Gamble and Huff assembled a 30-piece MFSB orchestra, strings, precision, military discipline.
Someone who needs you like
They forced Rawls to suppress his jazz improvisation instincts. No freedom, just pop perfection.
all the magic we shared.
The track balanced a 112 BPM disco kick against sophisticated A major orchestration, a sonic tension designed to mask his private grief over his recent divorce. Outwardly, smooth, unshakable baritone elegance. Internally, devastation. A Neumann U87 positioned 6 inches from his lips to capture the chest voice resonance of his lower registers.
Someone who cares about you the way I.
He remained motionless for hours despite the sweltering humidity of the Sigma sound booth. His body became an instrument of the machine. The song was sampled over 40 times by Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, and others. It endured as the template for sophisticated soul because it proved heartbreak delivered with a smile and a tuxedo cuts deeper than any scream. Casey faced a different kind of escape. Here's something that hurts. Only 1% of viewers on Music Express FM are subscribed. 99 out of 100 come for the ride, feeling the energy, discovering songs that hit right in the chest, yet you haven't joined us. Why walk away when the engine is running? Subscribing costs absolutely nothing, but it guarantees you'll always catch the next great track before anyone else. This isn't just a playlist, it's a movement. Don't listen from the sidelines. Be the 1% that fuels the music. Hit subscribe and stay on board. 10, Shake Your Booty by Casey and the Sunshine Band, 1976. Harry Wayne Casey worked warehouse shifts for $10 a week. The U.S. economy suffered a 4.8% inflation spike. The social vacuum demanded escapism. Casey crafted rhythms that masked the exhaustion of the Florida working class. The session cost $15 per hour at TK Studios, a cramped space where the temperature hit 100 degrees, and the no-drink policy forced military precision. The track's 115 BPM tempo collided with a high-frequency guitar scratch, a technical choice designed to induce primal physical response that overrode the deep social anxiety of the post-Watergate era. A Neumann U-47 microphone positioned 6 inches from Casey's mouth. He screamed the shake, shake, shake refrain until his throat bled from the repetitive takes. His body paid the price. The song was sampled over 50 times by Public Enemy, White Zombie, and others. Its lifetime revenue exceeded $100 million. It endured because it weaponized simple repetition to provide a temporary mechanical cure for human grief. Simple repetition became the blueprint. Diana Ross faced the opposite problem. 9. Love Hangover by Diana Ross, 1976. The disco boom demanded 120 BPM rigidity. Diana Ross faced the looming threat of irrelevance. The First Lady of Motown had to abandon her poise and combat the plastic reputation of the genre. Producer Hal Davis commanded a $40,000 budget and enforced something radical. The musicians played in total darkness. Sensory deprivation stripped away professional ego. They found the groove through touch and intuition alone. The track utilized a distinct tempo shift from 92 BPM sultry crawl to 112 BPM dance explosion. A structural gamble designed to mask Ross's genuine anxiety about her vocal transition from sophisticated chanteuse to raw, panting disco queen. A Neumann U-67 microphone positioned less than 3 inches from her lips captured the moisture and tick of her throat. She stood motionless for hours, battling physical cramping to maintain the bedroom whisper the machine demanded. The song was sampled over 115 times by Monica, Will Smith, and others. It endured as a definitive blueprint because it proved that a multi-million-dollar career could be salvaged by a single take of unscripted, sweaty improvisation. Raw vulnerability became the blueprint. The Sylvers faced the opposite hunger. 8. Boogie Fever by the Sylvers, 1975. 9 siblings, 1 family. The disco market surged toward a $4 billion valuation. The Sylvers faced the desperate friction of transitioning from a struggling Jackson 5 clone act to a self-contained unit fighting the collapse of the MGM label. Producer Freddie Perrin commanded a $50,000 budget and enforced a grueling family-only vocal discipline. 10 hours a day, harmonies rehearsed until their voices became a singular mechanical texture, mimicking the precision of a synthesizer. The track's 126 BPM tempo was the exact mathematical sweet spot for 1970s dance floors. It was designed to mask internal family grief and the financial pressure of supporting 10 people on a single dwindling royalty stream. A Neumann U-87 microphone positioned exactly 4 inches from the mouth forced the singers to suppress their natural gospel vibrato into a flat, breathless whisper pop style. Visible vocal cord strain, the song generated over 20 major hip-hop samples ranging from 1990s boom bap to modern trap. It endured because it perfected the synthetic joy formula, proving that a record can be mathematically perfect while fueled by the frantic energy of a family running out of time. Harold Melvin faced a different urgency. 7. Wake Up Everybody by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, 1975. Soul record sales declined 10% as disco's gloss sanitized the airwaves.
They do it every time.
A vacuum of social urgency opened. Teddy Pendergrass filled it with vocal grit born from his fear of being pigeonholed as a mere crooner.
They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When
Sigma Sound Studios charged a premium $150 per hour for the MFSB rhythm section.
we gotta change it, just you and me.
Gamble and Huff enforced a relentless rehearsal to exhaustion protocol. Musicians played through hand cramps until the groove became subconscious. The arrangement balanced a 4/4 mid-tempo pulse against a 40-piece orchestral swell, a sonic tension where the lushness of strings masked Pendergrass's raw, gravelly delivery of lyrics about poverty and systemic failure. A Neumann U87 microphone positioned less than 3 inches from his mouth captured the 110 decibel peaks of his shouting range.
If we just let it be.
He remained perfectly still despite his physical impulse to thrash during the climactic social plea.
Judgment Day, so won't you make them happy before they pass?
The song was sampled over 45 times by Wu-Tang Clan, Drake, and others. It endured as the definitive template for conscious soul because it proved that commercial precision can house a message of radical, uncomfortable change without losing its seat on the charts. Dorothy Moore faced the opposite fragility. 6. Misty Blue by Dorothy Moore, 1975. Malaco Records was $10,000 in debt and facing bankruptcy. The studio couldn't afford a third take. The atmosphere was do or die. A 5-piece rhythm section recorded the track in just 2 takes. Military-level efficiency born from desperation. Deep in my heart, I know I've lied. The musicians suppressed their own exhaustion to achieve perfection. The arrangement balanced a 10-piece string section against a raw 80 hertz bass groove, a sonic tension that hid Moore's private grief. She was so overcome by the lyrics, she wept during the session. Turns my whole world. She masked her tears to maintain vocal control. A Neumann U87 positioned exactly 6 inches from her lips captured every wet intake of breath. She remained motionless for hours to avoid phasing, turning her body into a rigid extension of the diaphragm. The song was sampled over 40 times by Mary J. Blige, Pusha T, and others. It endured as the definitive blueprint for Southern soul because it proved that technical precision is the only way to contain a heart that is physically breaking. Johnnie Taylor faced a different kind of extinction. 5. Disco Lady by Johnnie Taylor, 1976. Stax Records collapsed into involuntary bankruptcy with $10.5 million in debt. Johnnie Taylor faced the desperation of a soul survivor, needing to pivot from the gritty Memphis sound to the slicker, emerging disco market or face professional extinction. Within United Sound System Studio B, a $40 per hour room, Taylor recorded with bassist Anthony Jackson and the Funkadelic Rhythm section under a grueling, no-nonsense mandate. They stripped away their psychedelic excesses for lean, commercial precision. It felt like a betrayal of their chaotic roots. The track's 118 BPM tempo was the exact mathematical sweet spot for mid-70s dance floors. It was designed to mask Taylor's internal conflict, a gospel-trained philosopher of soul reduced to singing shaking lyrics for a paycheck. A Neumann U87 positioned 6 inches away captured every wet pop and strained breath as he pushed his voice to sound effortless while battling the physical fatigue of a 14-hour overnight session. The song achieved platinum certification for 2 million units sold, the first single in RIA history to do so. It endured as a blueprint for selling out without losing dignity, proving that a machine-tooled hit can still carry the weight of a man's survival instinct. Like Lou Rawls, Taylor learned that surrender could be survival. Parliament faced the opposite chaos. 4. Tear the Roof Off the Sucker by Parliament 1976. The Billboard soul charts were dominated by polished disco light. George Clinton filled the void with a chaotic mothership mythology to mask the financial desperation of managing a 15-person collective on the brink of bankruptcy. The session at United Sound Systems commanded a $100,000 production budget that bought precision. Yet Boosie Collins and the horn section endured grueling 14-hour marathons. The P-Funk discipline was maintained through sleep deprivation and the constant threat of being cut from the arrangement. The track's sonic identity relied on a 20 Hz sub-bass frequency clash between the Moog synthesizer and the brass, an aggressive orchestration designed to project elegance while hiding the band's collective fury toward a recording industry that pigeonholed black artists. A Neve 8068 console placed vocal mics just 2 inches from the performers' mouths. Every wet gasp and strained vocal cord was captured as the singers fought to stay on key over deafening studio monitors. Over 400 document samples by Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, and others prove the song endured because it weaponized technical perfection with the raw, unrefined sweat of a live ensemble. Royce faced a different kind of factory. 3. Car Wash by Royce 1976. U.S. unemployment hovered at 7.7%. Norman Whitfield forced the 9 members of Royce to transition from a backing band to the face of a $2.5 million film project. A working man's anthem designed to mask the band's paralyzing fear of being dropped by MCA Records. Within Record Plant West in Los Angeles, Whitfield enforced a 12-hour-a-day boot camp recording schedule. The musicians played the car wash rhythm track over 50 times until the groove felt greasy enough to meet his obsessive standards.
No place to be if you plan on being a star. Let me tell you, it's always...
The signature hand claps, recorded at a sharp, percussive frequency that cut through the 24-track mix, were the result of the band standing in a tight circle for hours. Their palms became bruised and swollen as they strove to maintain a joyful, upbeat sound that hid their collective frustration with Whitfield's relentless perfectionism. A Nauman U-87 positioned 6 inches from Gwen Dickey's mouth forced her to suppress her natural gospel power into a controlled, breathy cool that left her vocally stifled and emotionally disconnected from the very lyrics that made her a star.
And the boss don't mind sometimes if you at the booth, at the car.
Over 800,000 copies sold in its first few months. The song endured as the definitive blueprint for cinematic funk because it engineered mechanical, repetitive labor rhythm into a high art commodity that sounds like a party but feels like a shift at the factory. Aretha Franklin faced a different kind of restraint. 2. Something He Can Feel by Aretha Franklin, 1976. The disco-dominated Billboard Hot 100 demanded 120 BPM escapism. Aretha Franklin recorded amidst a $1.3 million debt to the IRS. She was forced to abandon her signature piano-driven gospel power for a restrained cinematic soul delivery to survive a shifting industry.
Just to prove that real things do come true. Tell me what can you tell me?
Producer Curtis Mayfield controlled the session at Curtin Studios with a $150,000 budget, enforcing a no-frills discipline.
Baby, yes I am. You girls know what I'm talking about.
The rhythm section tracked in a single take. Aretha, known for her vocal autonomy, sat in uncharacteristic, stoic silence to absorb Mayfield's specific Chicago soul phrasing.
Me right around. Yes, you will. Mm-hmm.
The track's 84 BPM tempo created a sonic vacuum between the sparse bass line and lush orchestration. Aretha filled it with a hush and growl technique that used elegant vocal runs to mask the exhaustion of her recent divorce and the decline of her father's health.
People out there, can you understand? Giving him something.
A Neumann U-67 microphone positioned exactly 4 inches from her mouth captured every breathy intake.
So tight. What is it? Nothing's wrong.
The cold technical sensitivity forced Aretha to physically restrain her 4-octave power.
Oh, your good old stuff. Yeah. You make it so good.
The audible wetness of her voice conveyed raw, tactile intimacy she rarely permitted on record. Over 20 covers and samples, most notably En Vogue in 1992, prove the 327-minute architecture serves as a masterclass in the art of the whisper, proving that technical restraint creates more durable emotional resonance than sheer volume. One final record changed everything. 1. I Wish by Stevie Wonder, 1976. Polished disco dominated 1976. A 7% inflation rate created economic anxiety. Stevie Wonder's nostalgic funk countered that void. He recorded at Crystal Industries in a marathon session where he played almost every instrument himself. 18-hour days. His physical exhaustion manifested in the relentless driving energy of the ARP 2600 bass line. The 105 BPM tempo created high-frequency tension between sophisticated horn arrangements and the raw grit of Wonder's vocal. That tension masked a deep, private grief for his childhood innocence, lost to early superstardom. The GX1 Yamaha Dream Machine synthesizer, a $60,000 behemoth, required Wonder to manipulate its massive tactile interface by touch alone. It forced a more aggressive, percussive physical performance to conquer the instrument's complex polyphony. He refused to let the machine win. Over 150 samples and millions in royalties prove the song remains the definitive architecture for modern R&B. It endured because it proved that technical perfection is only achieved when it serves a vulnerable human memory. The machine didn't create the soul. The soul created the machine.